progressed up the ranks, we made first class, and the time came when decided that you wanted to go back to the advanced course, right?
Yeah.
Now, who were you working for at the time that you signed?
Chief named Burrell out in California,
Okay.
North Island,
Yeah,
Comair land.
yeah.
And it wasn't a very good situation out there, the band situation was, and I was a little discouraged with the Navy.
Airpac, maybe? Did you say Comair Land?
Comair Pack. Yeah.
Comair Pack, yeah.
Yeah. And there was someone came to the band that had just finished the course, the advanced course. And I got to talking to him, and that kind of made me say, well, I think I'll do that. So I put in for it, got my orders, and I was on my way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
How about you, George?
I spent 3 years in Hawaii, 3 good years. Then I was transferred in '51 to Pensacola, Florida. Chief there was Tom Heller, and then Walter Carl Roth, he was a tuba player, and Charlie Zerbst, another chief, was there. I spent 1 year there, just a year, and I requested San Diego because I knew it was the big training center band. And I went out there. John Kerry was officer in charge. Foltz was there. I can't remember the other guy was there, another chief. And that was about a 70-piece concert band.
Now, wait a second now. Kerry was in San Diego
He went out to San Diego.
as a warrant.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And then, well, like I said, Foltz, Clyde Channing was the other.
Okay,
the other
Pops
chief.
Channing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Always needed a shave.
he was a smart man, though.
Yes, he was.
He was what is that, Boston composition technique, I forget what it was, Schillinger system.
Schillinger system, yeah.
He was good at that, man, with graph paper. But that's when a lot of the band members, Johnny Christ and I were first class. He was in Hawaii with me. He ended up there. We were the drum majors for the marching band, the grinder band. On the end, they wouldn't allow chiefs on the field, just boots, no chiefs at all. And I think Dick Gamble, there was a picture in the last ledger, Gamble conducting a band. Dick was first class at the time. Then I went there 52 to 54. 54, I went back to school for a refresher. And February 55, I went aboard Strange Occurrence on the Wisconsin, which is here in Norfolk now. Mm-hmm. I spent about a year and a half there with Henry Lockenmeyer.
Okay.
A lot of people can't remember Henry. I thought
He was in Band 8 in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
at Pearl.
One of the best easy working chiefs. I think that's what kept me in the Navy. Maury Ford, Money Parks, Tom Heller. I mean, these guys were all good bandmasters, and you know, made it worthwhile. I stayed in. Then they sent me back, and we come up to where the three of us ended up. 7 September we started in '56.
I don't remember the date.
Well, I think it was somewhere around September
Yeah.
when they
Actually
started
started the class.
yeah, we
that course.
reported in August of '56.
Yeah.
That's when we got there. The classes started in September.
Now, I had come up from Fibland. I was working for Nathan Flippin in Fibland. We were kind of like attached to Pocono, but he had gotten us off, and for a period of time we lived on an LST and a number of things. That band had a bunch of first class in it. But before I got there, I had been in Philadelphia before that for 2 years or so, a little more than 2 years, and a bunch of first class in that band. And I was the junior first class, and I got all the work, you know, and I appreciated it. And of course, now I told you I rode Oriskany around the Horn. I mean, we had made cruises to the Med, and then we went around the Horn, and naturally we played around the Caribbean. Everybody did. And we came up the west coast of South America, and a number of people that don't know this, but I have to credit Max Ring for making me a sailor. And it was kind of a tough road to hoe, but I appreciated it. He was a tough character. And then we got off of that ship. It was going to Korea, and it was supposed to report up to Bremen, but it went into Alameda, and they pulled us off. We were with the San Francisco band there for just a while, and then the band broke up, and then they sent me back to the school. And I was at the school for not a long period of time. I was assigned to Philadelphia. And I went to Philadelphia, and I was there with Frank Gardner. Stone had that band. Price had the band. Rodney Jakeway had the band for a little while as first class.
Oh, Price, the warrant officer?
No, Price was the chief. No warrants there. Now, I guess that was, and this was after Dutch had the band as a chief in Philadelphia. And you had the Philly band.
Yeah.
And you know where the dental clinic had been, right next to the building. Well,
Yeah.
Dutch had that building for the band. And after Dutch left, the band didn't have that building anymore. We moved right across the street in another tall building. And of course I was there with Bob Parent, Brimley, and Sweet Nielsen, and all these first class men. And, gosh, it just, it did what I had to do. Sam Browning was in that band, and we had a ball. And, I got ordered down to Fibland, and Flip had asked for me. So that was cool. And I came back. We got started a little bit early, Ambrose, but that's okay.
No,
And
it's fine.
was something else coming in here?
No.
Oh,
It's all
okay.
yours.
All right, fine. And this is pretty informal, but we were in the same advanced class, as I had mentioned to a number of other folks. So I did get the orders.
What year was that, Marshall?
This was 56, August of 56. This class formed. And the people that were in our class were George here, George Deitzler, Cecil Strange, Tom Adcock, Franz Grissom. What was Schessler's first name?
Bob.
Bob Schessler?
Yep.
Bob Chesler, yeah.
Okay. And Bob Brown, the trumpet player. Robert Griswold was a Marine Corps sergeant. Frank Schultz was in that class. He flunked out. Don Cotis was in that class, and he flunked out. Both of them came back when I was teaching the advanced class. I had both of them, and they went through successfully. Out of this class, Adcock was one of the first LDOs. He and Stan Serber, one of the first LDOs. And he had come out of that class. We also had a Lieutenant Yi, a Korean, and first class, Won Mu Ho, Korean.
Yep.
And you told it before the camera started, you ought to tell it again. Somebody would come to class in the morning.
Oh, yeah, Don Cotis, when he was there, we had this one Yu Ho in the class, and Cotis would come in the morning and he'd say, "Hi, Ho." Ho would break up. I didn't know why he was laughing.
He didn't know.
Had no idea.
What a hell of a student he was. There was an unusual thing about that class we had. The Navy didn't have many chiefs. A lot of people were getting out and they pulled us all in. We started in September in class, and in February, they let us all take the exam, the chief's exam, and I think 11 of 12 made it that year.
Now our instructors. We had Herb Weber.
Herb Weber was basically the,
Well, yeah, but Birdsong came later on and was teaching and conducting to us.
well, Muffley was,
And he was in the class ahead of us and was
Did a lot
doing
of
the conducting thing there too.
Herbie Weber. Herbie was the teacher for basically everything.
Yeah?
What's that anecdote of Herbie? Herbie used to start the morning off at 8 o'clock with solfege. And he would sit at the piano, and he'd be going along, and all of a sudden he'd
Leave us.
Get
he'd
real
go
quiet.
up. We'd just sit there and wait until he came up, and he'd start right over where he'd fallen asleep. Amazing guy.
Somebody one day, though, it might have been Schessler, because he was kind of the wise guy in that class, and he had taken the can, the trash can, and picked up the edge of it or something like this, and it woke him up at the piano, you know. But, yeah, that was, I was dropped early to the staff in May
Yeah.
of that year, and then I started teaching dance band. That was what I started doing.
This was in 57 then?
It was 57.
57,
I had passed the exam and was put on the hat in September. I don't know when you guys did.
They gave me put me in a band, sent me out with a band in April. I was gone in April, yeah.
See, I lost track of that because I was busy in school.
I didn't go to much later, and I was called into the office. I had orders for Norfolk. Then the next day I got called back in the office. What was the guy, Morrison?
Morrison, yeah.
Morrison, his
He was
wife
in class
was-
before us.
Yeah, his wife was pregnant, so he had requested that he go to Norfolk. And I ended up back in San Diego again, 106 DESPAC with Jerry Bowen as warrant officer.
I thought Morrison was the guy that got killed.
He did.
In an automobile accident while we
That's
were on
right.
the course.
No, it was after that.
It was after that?
Yeah,
I was thinking that.
he requested Norfolk so he wouldn't have to, his wife was pregnant, he would come up on weekends. And I understand that he was going back there one night and had an automobile accident.
Ned and Skipper
Yeah.
and Marshall.
About how big were the bands when you first went out? Well, in 57 thereabouts, how big were the bands going out?
17 or 23, that's all they had at the time.
Is either ship's company or a flag band.
Most of your ship's bands were 17, your
Okay.
shore bands were 23.
And the ship's company bands were drying up.
Yeah.
Because everything was becoming flag
Yeah,
at the time.
we come out
Because
in those bands.
on the Oriskany, we were a ship's company band.
Yeah.
And we weren't flag.
Well, we were on Wisconsin too, ship's company, no.
Yeah, we were on the Iowa also during the Korean War, the ship's company.
Explain that for somebody who might be looking at this later and not understand the
Well,
difference between
what
what makes up a ship's band or the different designations that you just
If you
talked about.
belonged to a flag band, you know, an admiral would have his staff, and
Right.
they'd have a band, you know, part of the staff. And those staffs traditionally rotated from ship to ship.
Right.
They didn't stay on the same
And they
ship.
referred to the admiral as the flag, and wherever the flag went,
We were the
the
admiral's
admiral
flag.
and his own crew, including
Well,
the
the ship's
band, went
company
with it.
band was assigned to that ship.
Okay.
It was under the auspices of
Right.
the
Now, that
commanding
went,
officer.
that went back a little further than that, because on the film that I have of Skinny, see, Skinny didn't go to the School of Music. He went to the little E-flat school out in San Diego. Elmer G. Morris